People are always asking me, Jenny, if you were a mutant, what would your special ability be? Would you have adamantium claws? The power to shapeshift? Just kidding. To me, the answer is simple. If I was a mutant, I would have the power to summon a completely ridiculous dance party at will. For the power to dance is the power to end all wars, past and future. The X-Men films have struck high highs and low lows ever since the beginning of the franchise in 2000. That's right, my aging geeklings. The first X-Men film came out 14 years ago. In the year 2000. Looking back, 2000's X-Men was still one hell of an achievement. It was our first real taste of Marvel Comics action on the big screen, and we have it to thank for the Marvel Cinematic Universe we enjoy today. X2 X-Men United is still widely regarded as one of the greatest comic book films ever. However, all other subsequent installments of the franchise have been unable to truly capture the mutant magic again. That brings us to Days of Future Past, Bryan Singer's triumphant return to set things right in a universe he forged 14 years ago, to bring two different casts and make sense of the wibbly-wobbly timelines established in the original trilogy and First Class. Dubbed by Singer as an in-betweenquel, Days of Future Past is loosely based on the classic comic story arc of the same name. In the not-too-distant future, mutants are an endangered breed. The lucky ones are sent off to prison camps while most are just hunted down by ruthless Sentinels. It is a time of war, and mutant kind is on the losing end. With all other options exhausted, it is now up to Kitty Pryde to transport Wolverine's consciousness back into his body in the 70s. It is there that he must find Charles Xavier and stop an assassination that will set the events of their doomed future in motion. Only by changing the past can there be a future for mutants. Let me say that for some of us here at AC, this is the film to beat this summer, and not only that, it is our favorite X-Men film of the series. Days of Future Past is the X-Men film we've always wanted. It is complete fan service done right. I was honestly afraid that the time travel element was going to make this film hard to follow, but surprisingly, it was quite the contrary. Story elements taking place in the past and future meld together seamlessly, making this quite the enjoyable journey to take. With this installment, the franchise is completely revitalized. Old sins are atoned for, new doors are opened, and old ones are closed with a satisfying sense of complete closure. It is so fucking awesome to see the X-Men finally going up against the Sentinels, both past and future. I was just like, These fights showcase some of the most impressive displays of X-Powers seen on film, and quite honestly, these battles are pretty brutal. If you are familiar with the Days of Future Past comic arc, then you know what I mean here. Performance-wise, James McAvoy and Michael Fassbender knock it out of the park again. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen's legacies are safe with these two men. Side note here, I got a little extra emo during some scenes because I kept reminding myself that these two are besties in real life. And, yeah. This film really hinges on Charles Xavier's emotional journey. McAvoy perfectly embodies a Professor X who is a broken man and at the end of his rope. Fassbender's Magneto is just plain cool. He just exudes that raw power and drive of the master of magnetism, like a boss. Hugh Jackman is par for the course as Logan. He is as enjoyable as ever. Know what I'm saying? Jennifer Lawrence does a fine job in her second stint, being nude and blue with scales. As a newcomer to the series, Peter Dinklage is great as Sentinel creator Bolivar Trask. Dinklage is a fantastic actor as always, and that 70s porno stash that he rocks in the film is pretty darn righteous. The newcomer that truly steals the show is Evan Peters as Quicksilver. Fox is shot first in the Battle of the Quicksilvers, and I'm gonna have to say that this is going to be a tough one to beat. Peters nails it. His Quicksilver is fun, hilarious, and mighty fucking fast. I like those three words put together, mighty fucking fast. Even the speedy pacing of his lines is very reminiscent of the X-Men Evolution incarnation of his character. And even speaking about Quicksilver makes me want to talk really fast. But then again, I'm Cuban, so I can do that. Comparisons have been drawn between this sequence and X2's White House fight featuring Nightcrawler, and I'd go as far as to say that this is even cooler. If I were to have any tiny gripe at all, it would be that there were some moments in this film that felt like it was going down the path of the Wolverine show again. Thankfully, he is not the complete glory hog that he can be in films. Other mutants definitely got their time to shine, and seeing as there's so many characters in a limited runtime, you can only get so much. So, what did you think of Days of Future Past, my fair geeklings? Are the children of the atom back and better than ever? Or should this installment have been sent underground to live with the Morlocks? As always, leave your thoughts and comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And continue to do your part in starting the AC revolution by sending your friends over to aggressivecomics.com, which is pretty much the cerebro of the latest and greatest in geeky news. Well, that's all from me today. Remember to always wash your berries before you eat them. And until next time, stay geeky, my friends. Actually, just kidding. Hold on a second, sorry. Can you sit, when you sit, can you sit back? Now I'm sure some of you are watching this right now and just completely, like, face palming and shaking your head and just going, this bitch, you know, just completely disagreeing with my opinion on this film. And that's fine. You know, that's why we all have opinions. I love the movie, and some of you would rather stick a bowling ball up your urethra than watch it again. That is fine. You got an opinion and I got my opinion. Else we'd all just be robots, and that's kind of lame.